Hello everybody. Welcome to another Funky Bunch at Sunday Brunch Podcast. Hope you all are doing well, energized, awake for the day. For those of you listening to this later on, I hope you had a good day. But anyway, let's get in with the quick plugs and then we'll jump into our topic. Obviously, I record these and other games on Twitch at twitch.tv/DJ_funky_fresh. I post all my gaming content on YouTube, as well as these videos, as well as actual non-streamed videos at youtube.com/DJ_funky_fresh gaming. And of course, this podcast ends up on Spotify and SoundCloud. Just search for Funky Bunch at Sunday Brunch. Anyway, so yes, today we are going to be looking at complementary or alternative medicine, specifically looking at psychotherapy alternatives or complementary actions to be done in order to enhance anything you're doing. We talked a couple weeks ago about what did we talk about a couple weeks ago? Stress? Yeah, I don't remember what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Okay, yes, it was stress. We talked about stress. We've talked about sleeping and dreaming, which included some sleep disorders. We did not discuss sleep disorders. Sleep and sleep problems, what causes them, as well as dreaming and all that. And I'm sure we'll talk about some other things in the future. But I figured, talking about what is available out there other than going and taking pills or going and seeing a therapist. Now, I'm not saying that anything in here is to be replacing a therapist or replacing medication. Those are things you should talk to your therapist or talk to your doctor about first. Because, like I said, these are complementary or alternative. So they are things to be substituted in for something else or used in conjunction with. So for alternative, we'll get there when we get there. But anyway, so I will be calling it CAM from now on, because I'm not going to say complementary or alternative medicine every time. So anytime I mention CAM and you forget what it means, please tell me and I will remind you what CAM is. So people have used CAM treatments for thousands of years, but it wasn't until 1999 that the National Institute of Health created the National Center for Complementary and Alternative Medicine, the NCCAM, with a mission of defining the usefulness and safety of complementary and alternative medicine interventions and their roles in improving health and healthcare. Now, incorporating CAM into both daily life and healthcare is part of a larger movement that focuses on more integrative and holistic care. The psychology profession, with a strong history of integrating innovations, is among those embracing CAM. Interestingly, a group of researchers determined that people visited CAM practitioners 243 million more times than they visited primary care physicians in the preceding year. So that was 1997. According to 2007 data from the NCCAM, 38.3% of adults and 11.8% of children reported having used a form of CAM in the preceding year. This corresponds with nearly $34 billion being spent each year on CAM products and services. Although this amount accounts for only 1.5% of the total amount spent on healthcare, it is nearly 11.2% of the out-of-pocket healthcare costs. While much more research remains to be done, studies have begun to demonstrate the effectiveness of CAM modalities for treating a wide range of ailments and disorders. The literature documents dozens of CAM interventions that fall within 4 main categories: the mind-body medicine, biologically based practices, manipulative and body-based practices, and energy medicine. CAM may also be viewed in the context of whole medical systems, which include traditional Chinese medicines, Ayurvedic medicine, naturopathy, and homeopathy. So, I will tell you right now what got me into doing this was I had a friend in college who went into music therapy, and my ex's roommate was very interested in going into art therapy. So I wanted to explore what other kinds of alternative therapies there were. And then I found this article that had 14, and then I just added on that 15 art one, because art was not included in there. But I just kind of wanted to explore, what was out there, and really kind of just let other people know what's out there. Because a lot of the stuff in here, not all of it, but a lot of this stuff is things you can explore yourself as well to figure out, hey, this sounds interesting, and I think I could do this myself to see if this helps for anything. So, anyway, in this podcast, I will describe 15 CAM modalities. So, these 15 are dietary supplements, meditation, chiropractic, aromatherapy, massage therapy, yoga, progressive muscle relaxation, spirituality, religion and prayer, movement therapy, acupuncture, Reiki, biofeedback, hypnosis, music therapy, and art therapy. I just realized there's also light therapy. Completely forgot about that. If we have time, remind me, and I will do some quick research and talk about light therapy at the very end. Okay. So, dietary supplements. Many dietary supplements are used to promote health and wellness, as well as to treat pain, depression, and anxiety. Commonly used supplements include ginkgo biloba, St. John's wort, vitamin supplements, and, oh god, what is this word? Echinacea. Echinacea? Echinacea. Dietary supplements are regulated by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, but are held to very different quality standards than more conventional forms of medicine. Of specific note, the FDA does not review the safety and effectiveness of any supplement before it is sold to customers. As a result, the potency or composition of the supplements may vary between manufacturers, or even within a single manufacturer's batch. Much of the research on dietary supplements varies due to this lack of regulation. So yeah, that is something to consider whenever you're taking any kind of supplement or vitamin. They are not regulated. They are not standardized. They can lie flat out about what's in it, what it does, all of that, because it's not regulated by a government agency. They are not bound by the truth and advertising, I think. I don't think they're required to be very truthful. But another reason dietary... Well, it won't kill you. I'll say that. It won't kill you to take dietary supplements. They will not poison you. You have that, at least, to consider. But, but dietary supplements are also where you have those home remedies, for instance, like, where somebody's just like, oh, if you rub this leaf on poison ivy, it'll go away. That's a dietary supplement. That's a home remedy. And that's something that easily, it works. So that's something to consider as well. Like, if your family's just like, oh, you got a sore cold, just lemon and hot tea. You don't need to go take some medicine. You know what? If you've got lemon and some hot tea right there next to you, take some. Doesn't mean that it will fix it, But if you've got a cheap and easy way of doing something before going to take medicine, go for it. But for instance, if you've got like the plague, no dietary supplement is going to stop it. You need medicine. If you've got, something big and serious, or if you're like severely depressed or having anxiety panic attacks and you've got something that's supposed to lessen panic or anxiety, and clearly you're beyond that right now, don't say, oh, but I'm taking a dietary supplement. Take the steps to actually do what you need to do. So anyway, let's see, Emotive says, well, I take vitamins, my doctor told me to. Right. I'm not saying that a lot of vitamins are definitely ones that are definitely, I've said definitely way too many times, but are going to be fairly accurate in their thing because obviously doctors recommend them and people take them because they are deficient in things. So companies that do produce those are more likely to be accurate in what they're giving you. It's more if you've got somebody who's coming out and says, oh, I've got this thing brand new. It'll cure polio. It's snake oil, essentially. You've got that person on the soapbox preaching that they've got the next best cure, the next best sliced bread. Really, it's just a sugar pill. It's just be aware of what you're trying to get. Be aware of what does what, and you should be fine. Anyway, it is essential that psychologists be aware of the risks that may come with using dietary supplements so that they are able to competently advise their clients about their use, such as by referring them to their physicians when indicated. Despite the risks, 17.7% of people surveyed had taken a dietary supplement in the past year. That's 2007. While psychologists might educate clients on the substance themselves, they should be making referrals to primary care physicians who can monitor patients' blood levels as well as watch for potential interactions. Right, Emotive. The big ones are those fake supplements like weight loss pills and stuff. Absolutely. Just the big thing is just be aware, I'm not going to say never take a dietary supplement because they help. For instance, I was on a experimental vitamin for my neurological disorder. I was taking 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C because there was a current study being done on other individuals who had Charcot-Marie tooth like I did. And it was to see if vitamin C helped reduce some of the symptoms. Like, for instance, I have very shaky hands, and that's due to CMT. But they're like, we don't know if this will help or not. However, the plus side is vitamin C is good for you. So, on the off chance that it doesn't help, you're taking something that's good. So, anyway. So, with regard to CAM, dietary supplements, and mental health, it is essential for patients to have an open dialogue with members of their healthcare teams, including physicians, mental health providers, and dietitians. This will help providers become more fully aware of what supplements one is already taking and reduce the risk of adverse drug supplement interactions and complications during surgery if applicable. Patients will benefit from educating themselves via reputable sources about the potential risks, benefits, and medical interactions relevant to supplements that they are considering taking. Even a supplement considered generally effective or safe may not be appropriate for everyone. In a provider's opinion, they have an obligation to ask about supplement use and be willing to discuss this in a way that is open and non-pathologizing. This stance is far more likely to facilitate communication that is ultimately beneficial to the patient. Although no one can know everything about every supplement, since we are still learning about potential benefits, side effects, and drug interactions for a majority of them, providers should be willing to learn about those treatments our patients are already using or considering to use. And the research is constantly evolving, thus it's important to look for the most recent data and also what brands are most reliable or least likely to sell a contaminated product. ConsumerLab.com is an independent, unbiased laboratory that summarizes the research on supplements and reviews products. And then for a small annual fee, anyone can access this data, which is provided in an easy-to-understand format. Right, Emotive. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Like if it's making a crazy claim of what it can do for you. But some supplements can help in some cases. Absolutely. Which is why I'm saying just be informed about what you're taking. Be informed of what side effects you could have. And if it's one of those, it could help you, but it would harm you if not, don't take it. If it could potentially help you, and if not, it's still good for you, consider taking it. But if you're paying, hefty fees to get it for a potential fix that has not been proven, and the health side effects are just kind of minimal, I'd say that's not worth it, and to go talk to your doctor about it instead. Because you never know if they've done some recent experiments that have proven something. So, anyway, moving on to meditation now. Meditation is a process by which people learn to focus their attention as a way of gaining greater insight into themselves and their surroundings. Meditation is used to treat a variety of symptoms such as elevated blood pressure, anxiety, stress, pain, and insomnia, as well as to promote overall health and well-being. In 2007, 9.4% of adults surveyed by the NIH reported they practiced meditation. When meditating, clients must focus their attention on breathing or on repeating a word, phrase, or sound in order to suspend the stream of thoughts that normally occupies the conscious mind. There are several different forms of meditation, each of which falls into one of two categories: mindfulness meditation and concentrative meditation. Mindfulness meditation focuses attention on breathing to develop increased awareness of the present, while concentrative meditation aims to increase overall concentration by focusing on a specific word or phrase. Although there are many different types of meditation in each category, such as Vipassana, Transcendental, and walking meditation, most forms of meditation have four elements in common: a quiet location, a specific comfortable posture, a focus of attention, and an open attitude. Meditation can be integrated into ongoing psychological practices, but it is important that both clinicians and their clients are appropriately trained before attempting to meditate on their own. While there are no formal qualifications necessary for those who practice general meditation, a variety of organizations offer certification in specific forms of meditation, such as mindfulness-based meditation and transcendental meditation. Psychologists who want to integrate meditation into their practice will want to first assess the legitimacy of particular organizations before seeking certification through them. So, 6 proven benefits to meditation. However, to say something is proven in scientific terms is almost impossible. Social science researchers hesitate to say X causes Y. They speak in terms of confidence intervals. The Association for Psychological Science has a fabulous article explaining that topic. So, anytime something is proven in science, no. It's just, they're highly confident that things interact. So, researchers use the term correlation when describing their results. This means they have found a connection or no connection between the variables in question. For example, one might find that an 8-week mindfulness meditation training negatively correlated with a decrease in insomnia. As the person continued to use mindfulness meditation, their experience of insomnia lessened. Does this mean that there are no proven effects of using mindfulness meditation therapy? As indicated, the research is promising. So, there are 6 other studies that took a look at this. So, the amygdala changes after 2 months of meditation training. One study found that there is less activation in the amygdala area after learning meditation. Second study was meditation has a stronger effect than relaxation training to reduce smoking and craving. A third found that meditation improves the retention of information. In the experiment, college students received brief meditation training or rest. Then they listened to a lecture, followed by a quiz. Students who received meditation training retained more information. Unaffected variables included mood, relaxation, and class interest. Fourth study was a 2015 study. Found that semester-long mindfulness course improved learning effectiveness. It also enhanced participation's attention to memory. A fifth study was loving kindness meditation reduces implicit bias against blacks and homeless people. Interesting. The researchers compared this result against a loving kindness discussion group and a waitlisted group. And then the final one is a study that compared MBSR. I don't know what MBSR stands for. Mindfulness-based, probably. Probably, I don't know. Anyway, MBSR to an aerobic exercise stress reduction program. They found that meditation practice was associated with decreases in negative emotion and social anxiety symptoms, symptom severity, and increases in attention-related parietal cortex neural responses when implementing attention regulation of negative self-beliefs. Basically, meditation helps with the knot. Thank you. Mindfulness-based stress reduction. Thank you very much. And yes, mindfulness meditation is something you've looked into. It's cool to hear me talk about it. Absolutely. Like, meditation is something I've talked to other people about too when they have some issues, because I'm just like, sometimes you just need to stop and reset yourself. Just, take that minute, just get a quick reset by closing your eyes, focusing inward, and just relaxing, releasing, come back. So anyway, 8 techniques used in meditation therapy. A mental health professional may use a variety of techniques based on the patient's needs. One exercise might work for one person but be ineffective for another. Fortunately, there are several options. So the University of Minnesota recommends these 8 techniques. So there's diaphragmatic or belly breathing. Sit or lie comfortably on your back. Breathe in through your nose with your mouth closed. Exhale slowly through your mouth with your lips pursed. Try to make your exhalation longer than your inhalation. Straw breathing is a great way to extend exhalation. Breathe through your nose. Using a practice straw, exhale through it until all the air leaves your lungs. Repeat this for anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. 2-minute relaxation. Start by taking a few deep breaths. Remember to exhale slowly and fully. Be mindful of the air as it leaves your lungs. Scan your body for tense areas. Imagine warm light loosening your muscle. Allow your head to fall forward gently. Rotate to the left, right. Raise your head. Rotate left, right. Look up. Then slowly return your head to neutral position. If at any point you feel pain, just stop. Roll your shoulders forward and back. Recall something pleasant. Take a few more deep breaths, exhaling slowly. Exercise your shoulder and neck muscles to reduce tension. Stand or sit. Shrug your shoulders to your ears for a count of 10, then release. Repeat as necessary. Stretch your arms up and overhead without locking your elbows. Swing your arms at your side, forward and back, side to side. Engage the relaxation response. Choose a quiet spot with little to no distractions. Get into a comfortable position. Choose a focal point such as your breath, a word, sound, or prayer. If you get distracted, imagine the distraction as a cloud sweeping across the sky. Let it flow past without judgment or emotion. Return your attention to your focal point. Georgia Tech advises students to use the above techniques as well as progressive muscle relaxation. Sit or lie in a comfortable position. Take a few deep breaths and close your eyes. Beginning at the top of your body, slowly tense and then release the muscles in your body. Body scanning is useful for reducing pain. To start, lie on your back in a comfortable position. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Focus on your left foot. Allow yourself to feel all the sensations. Do this for each part of your body. If you experience pain in any of the areas as you move through your body, acknowledge it. Breathe through the pain. Refrain from judging yourself or your pain. And then, of course, there's guided imagery, using words and music to evoke imaginary scenarios to the listener. The goal is to assist the person to see and feel the imagined experience. If anybody wants my notes I have on this that I'm reading from, just ask and I can provide it to you. In case you're just like, well, that sounded interesting. I want to look more into it. Let me know. I've got all the sites from all the studies as well. That way, in case somebody wanted to look at something, you can very easily. So, alright. Moving on to chiropractic. I have a bit of experience in chiropractic because I've seen a chiropractor for a long time. Pretty good for the back, but I will definitely say my chiropractor very much jumps into this alternative medicine for lots of different things. Unfortunately for him, I came to him for one problem and one problem only, which was I severely hurt my back. I can't move without pain. Please fix. He did not fix. I did not come back. I will probably go back in a couple of months or years again. Anyway, so chiropractic. The main theory behind chiropractic practice is that nerve and organ dysfunction is often the result of misaligned vertebrae in the spine. Chiropractic physicians use non-invasive treatments such as spinal manipulations or chiropractic adjustments. The purpose of these manipulations is to restore joint mobility by manually applying controlled force into joints that have become hypomobile or restricted in their movement as a result of tissue injury. The ultimate goal of chiropractic is to realign the spine so that the body functions best and can in turn heal itself. Chiropractic is used by 8.6% of Americans each year to treat a range of ailments from pain and headaches to stress and ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, among other conditions. To practice chiropractic, one must obtain a Doctor of Chiropractic degree, which takes several years of graduate work. While most psychologists aren't likely to obtain such degrees, it is important to recognize that serving as a client's chiropractor at the same time as serving as his or her psychologist is inappropriate due to the type of touch needed for spinal manipulations. This use of touch would be likely to constitute a significant boundary violation, a topic that will be discussed in a different article. Oh my god. Nope. I've never gone down a chiropractic YouTube rabbit hole, and I will never go down a chiropractic YouTube rabbit hole. Aromatherapy. Absolutely, it would freak me out. I like my back getting cracked. I don't want to see myself get adjusted. Like, it's terrifying. Like, when my doctor adjusts my neck, he gets you into that right position, and like, watching that happen to somebody else, listening to it happen to somebody else, To me, it's scary enough. I'm just like, please don't put too much pressure or you're going to snap my neck. Anyway, aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is the art and science of utilizing naturally extracted aromatic essences from plants to balance, harmonize, and promote the health of body, mind, and spirit. There are 3 different types of aromatherapy: clinical, holistic, aesthetic. Clinical aromatherapy focuses on relieving symptoms that are typically addressed in psychotherapy, such as stress and anxiety. Holistic aromatherapy focuses on the whole person, aiming to improve overall well-being and quality of life. Aesthetic aromatherapy, also termed non-clinical aromatherapy, uses aromatic essences and various oils and creams that are traditionally used in skin care. Using various scents and oils for therapeutic purposes has been in existence for thousands of years. In recent years, research finds that aromatherapy can help treat pain, anxiety, and agitation specific to dementia. Aromatherapy can be integrated into ongoing practice, and while certification is not required, it is recommended. Several organizations, such as the NAHA, offer certification to become a registered aromatherapist. There are risks associated with aromatherapy use related to toxicity, skin irritation, and dosing regulations that competent professionals will want to be aware of. So, this is another one of those times where you can easily just go and speak with, or this is something you can do very easily on your own with, what is it? You can easily do this research to be able to just find everything that you need. Be like, oh, I'm looking for, some scents that help. Like the incense is a good example. People speak a lot about the incense and say, breathing in this helps reduce your stress. Breathing in this helps reduce your, helps increase relaxation. This helps. There's so many different ways that people use aromatherapy in order to just help people. I think that's why candles are such a big thing, or just even those incense burnings. It's just people have found that it can help them. And once again, going back to the dietary supplement portion, just being aware of exactly what are you burning, what are you smelling, are there any side effects to it, that can just really help take care of things. So, moving on to massage therapy. Massage therapy is a manual procedure that involves manipulating the body's soft tissue as a way to relieve tension and pain, as well as anxiety and depression. Massage therapists use their hands, fingers, and sometimes their forearms or feet as a way to relieve pain, rehabilitate sports injuries, reduce stress, increase relaxation, address anxiety and depression, and aid general wellness. There are several different types of massage, each one utilizing different techniques. For example, there's the Swedish massage, which is the most commonly used form of massage in the United States, which involves a combination of long strokes, kneading motion, and friction on the layers of muscle just beneath the skin. Other well-known forms of massage include sports massage, deep tissue massage, and trigger point massage. In 2007, 8.3% of adults were reported to have used massage therapy in the past year. That was something I always enjoyed when I went to my chiropractor, was the fact that he quite literally would go and his wife specialized in massage therapy, and really all what she would do was really find those tight points, just kind of see it, and just the way she was able to work my muscles without manipulating my back like Doc did, helped me longer than if I had just been manipulated. Like, massage therapy is definitely something that if you've got some chronic pain, or you've got like a really bad knot or something, go to a massage parlor. It's surprising how good a massage can actually help with your tension, it's kind of got the same points as chiropractic in terms of headache alleviation, because if you've got some kind of a stress in your back, and it can cause a headache as well, and the release you can get from just a massage itself is usually very good. Let's see. The use of massage has been studied for its effectiveness in treating various psychological symptoms such as depression, anxiety, and stress, and thus it may be relevant for integration into some clients' treatments. However, even if the psychologist is appropriately trained, this integration must be done by referral to qualified massage therapists due to boundary concerns mentioned in the chiropractic one for psychologists. So the regulations for practicing massage vary from state to state. Presently, there are 43 states that regulate massage therapy, but national certification can be obtained through the National Certification Board for Therapeutic Massage. Right, Emotive. Chiropractic care or massage is not usually thought about for psychological well-being. The only reason I'm familiar with them is because my doctor and his wife specialize in this alternative, it seems like. And while I do appreciate what they do for me, I'm not looking at the alternatives because for right now, everything that they do for me is going to be undone by my surgeries I'm going to have in a couple of years for my knees. It's at that time I will consider going and actually doing these alternative. But until then, I don't think I'm going to. Simply because we don't really need to. I don't need to right now, so. Alright, next one. Yoga. Yoga incorporates several techniques such as meditation, breathing exercise, sustained concentration, and physical postures, which work to increase strength and flexibility. A main focus of yoga is to relax the client while working to balance the mind, body, and spirit. There are many different types of yoga such as Hatha, Ananda, Anusara, Bikram, Kundalini, and Vinyasa. Yoga has been increasingly studied of late, and it has been shown to be effective at treating numerous symptoms including anxiety, depression, and chronic pain. With such a wide range of uses, it is not surprising that in 2007, 6.1% of adults indicated that they had practiced a form of yoga in the preceding years. But what is perhaps unknown to those who consider yoga just another exercise form is that there's a growing body of research documenting yoga's psychological benefits. Several recent studies suggest that yoga may help strengthen social attachments, reduce stress and relieve anxiety, depression, and insomnia. Researchers are also starting to claim some success in using yoga and yoga-based treatments to help active-duty military and veterans with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Since yoga does not require any physical manipulation of the client by the psychologist, it is an area that can be integrated into ongoing treatment, as appropriately trained psychologists may choose to begin a session by utilizing various poses to promote relaxation. Also, clients who might benefit from yoga in addition to their ongoing psychological treatment may be referred to qualified yoga practitioners. As with other CAM modalities, certification is required to practice yoga, but the certification process is not standardized. Absolutely, Emotive. It's very cool. That's why I wanted to go over all this. There are so many different areas you can look at to just do so many different things to help you. It's just sometimes knowing where to look to see all these different things. So, progressive muscle relaxation. Stress and anxiety cause muscular tension. PMR relieves this tightness by tensing and releasing one muscle group at a time. The technique builds on the theory that when you are physically relaxed, you cannot feel anxious. And such deep relaxation has proven highly effective at relieving symptoms that arise from several conditions, including anxiety, insomnia, stress, headache, high blood pressure, and even cancer pain. Through this technique, the client learns to sequentially tense and relax muscle groups to promote greater relaxation. PMR is often beneficial for clients experiencing anxiety, tension, or stress-related symptoms. However, even though PMR has been accepted and integrated into psychological practices for years, results of an NIH study showed that only 2.9% of adults had used PMR in the prior year. PMR requires significant effort and outside time commitment by the client. The technique should not be viewed as a simple solution to stress reduction, and it is important that clients are aware that their success with PMR is highly dependent on the effort that they put into learning the process and practicing in between treatment sessions. Psychologists may want to take clients through various PMR exercises during a psychotherapy session, followed by offering them a recording of a relaxation sequence that they can be used outside of psychotherapy. PMR is one of the KM modalities that psychologists can effectively integrate into the practices with minimal training. So 4 proven benefits of PMR. Quotes around proven. PMR helps you distinguish between the subjective experience of a tense muscle versus a relaxed one. Over time, practitioners can learn what it feels like and cue this state to lower tension and stress levels when they start to feel anxious. This technique offers relief to many health conditions such as lack of sleep, anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, digestive disturbances, and the side effects of cancer treatment. Science has recognized the benefits of PMR in a range of fields, including health. Research published in 2017 found that interventions for parents of children receiving treatment for a malignancy or a painful and upsetting condition where abnormal cells divide and invade nearby tissues reduced anxiety and improved overall mood. Indeed, PMR is so successful in healthcare settings that, along with other relaxation techniques, is routinely offered by medical practitioners to their patients. 2. Sport. Psychological factors such as anxiety impact the amount and the quality of sleep, a common issue in competitive athletes preparing for an event. Medication is also often unsuitable in elite sport due to concerns regarding the World Anti-Doping Agency, the WADA, or the risk of adversely impacting performance to manage insufficient sleep. PMR is recognized by the APA, the American Psychological Association, as an empirically supported treatment for insomnia and offers a safe and viable alternative. 3. Cancer treatment, and 4. Education. So next is spirituality, religion, and prayer. The U.S. Religious Landscape Survey found that 56% of those surveyed indicated that religion was very important to them, while 26% reported that it was somewhat important to them. Spirituality and religion are 2 separate entities. Spirituality tends to be more personalized, while religion often more formally organized. Clients may identify themselves as only spiritual or only religious, neither or both. Spirituality, religion, and prayer are 3 areas that have been difficult to study. Sub-studies, however, have shown that they have been commonly involved in the treatment of addiction, depression, and the symptoms of trauma. Spirituality, religion, and prayer can all be integrated into a psychologist's ongoing practice, and technically, no certification is required to do so, but the psychologist will want to be competent about the religion or faith-based practices being used. Psychologists will also want to be aware that practicing a particular faith does not make one competent to utilize it into their psychotherapy practices. While spirituality, religion, and prayer can be a part of ongoing practice, psychologists should not exceed their clinical roles and take on the role of clergy. Clinicians who are interested in integrating spirituality, religion, or prayer into an ongoing practice will want to first obtain the education and training necessary to ensure their clinical competence. So here's one that might be interested to you, Emotive, and potentially Panda as well. It is somatic therapy or movement therapy. Movement therapy is the psychotherapeutic use of movement to promote emotional, cognitive, physical, and social integration of individuals. Often referred to as dance movement therapy, DMT, it focuses on movement behavior as it emerges in the therapeutic relationship. A goal of DMT is to use the body's movement as a way of expressing the unconscious. Dance movement therapists believe that the mind and body do not function separately, and that by focusing on the body, one should be able to affect his or her mind and therefore relieve a variety of symptoms. More research is needed to support and guide the use of DMT. However, the ADTA, the American Dance Therapy Association, has reported some support for using the therapy to help treat a variety of symptoms, such as those associated with ADHD, dementia, depression, and a variety of physical disabilities, as well as to promote overall well-being. DMT is one of the lesser-known CAM modalities, with only 1.5% of adults reporting that they had used the therapy in the previous year. Certification is required to practice DMT, and it requires a graduate degree from an ADTA-approved program. Somatic therapy can help people who suffer from stress, anxiety, depression, grief, addiction, problems with relationships, and sexual function, as well as issues related to trauma and abuse. Those for whom traditional remedies have not been helpful for chronic physical pain, digestive disorders, and other medical issues may also benefit from somatic therapy. Somatic therapy techniques can be used in both individual and group settings. The theory behind somatic therapy is that the mind, body, spirit, and emotions are all related and connected to each other. As a result, the stress of past emotional and traumatic events affects the central nervous system and can cause changes in the body and even in body language, often resulting in altered facial expressions and posture as well as physical pain. Through developing awareness of the mind-body connection and using specific interventions, somatic therapy helps you to release the tension anger, frustration, and other emotions that remain in your body from these past negative experiences. The goal is to help free you from stress and pain that is preventing you from fully engaging in your life. Think about that. You can dance to feel better, yo. Alright. Acupuncture. I'm going to start speeding up so we can get through the rest of these. So, this technique to improve health and functioning through stimulation of specific points of the body has been used for thousands of years. In 2008, it was reported that 1.4% of adults said that they have used acupuncture in the previous year. Typically, acupuncture involves penetrating the skin with needles, which are then manipulated by the acupuncturist's hands or by a form of electrical stimulation. The needles are inserted into specific locations on the body as a way of balancing the flow of life energy, also known as qi. Acupuncture has been shown to be effective at relieving symptoms of depression and anxiety, as well as migraines and other forms of chronic pain. Certification is required to practice acupuncture, and only physicians who have completed additional training, acupuncturists, and doctors of oriental medicines can practice acupuncture. Some states require licensure to practice acupuncture, while others require certification through the National Certification Commission for Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine, in addition to licensure. Psychologists, even if certified, should not serve as the client's acupuncturist, as well as his or her psychotherapist, since acupuncture often involves the client removing articles of clothing, a clear boundary violation. Also, in some states, it's illegal for psychologists to provide any forms of treatment that involve piercing of the skin. Next up is Reiki. The term Reiki means spiritually guided life force energy. Reiki involves the passing of energy from a trained Reiki practitioner's body to the client's body as a method of healing. The client can remain fully clothed, and it is believed that the Reiki energy can easily pass through clothing or other objects. The Reiki practitioner utilizes a series of established hand positions as a means for allowing the energy to move freely between the bodies. The Association for Comprehensive Energy Psychology, did not know that was a thing, is a non-profit organization of international licensed mental health professionals and allied health practitioners who are dedicated to exploring, developing, researching, and applying energy psychology methods to alleviate human suffering, enhance human performance, and access human potential. More and more mental health professionals are seeking ways to empower clients with tools to manage their emotional and physical discomfort. Anxiety and emotional discomfort may provide information regarding behavioral and life changes that would be more helpful. Reiki allows clients to ground and be fully present in their bodies, listening to what the body, mind, and soul are disclosing and manifesting as symptoms of anxiety and depression. Reiki provides a tool that integrates grounding exercises with talk therapy. For example, a psychologist likes to use a Reiki tool that allows clients to imagine whatever they want to rid themselves of as a shape with color, weight, and texture. Once they have completely created their image, the psychologists ask them if they want to release themselves from this, the anxiety, the resentment, the depression, the anger, etc. They affirm this out loud. The therapist then asks if they are willing to make the necessary changes to release their manifestation. Again, this is a out loud affirmation. These preparations for the actual Reiki healing resonate with cognitive behavior therapy and expressive therapies. Clients employ their senses in creating an image that captures their sensory experience of their perceived angst. They are then asked to affirm their desire to change, or for change, and their desire to make changes necessary to affect the change. Following this setup, the therapist prepares themselves and energetically help clients excise the imagined object from their well-being. This is one of that therapist's favorite tools because it has led to great success with clients who seem stuck and need additional clearing. Reiki is also a tool that clients can learn for their own personal use and health self-care. The tenets of counseling promote the empowerment and self-sufficiency of clients. Reiki promotes a practice of clients becoming more self-aware to their psychological and energetic needs and provides a means to address care and healing. Only 0.5% of the population report using Reiki, and there is little research on its efficacy. Despite this, Reiki has been shown to help with stress and pain management as well as to promote relaxation. Certification is required to practice Reiki. Next is biofeedback. This will be a big one, so get ready. Biofeedback is a technique which uses electrical sensors to provide information to a client that can help him or her improve health and or performance. The three most common forms of biofeedback are electromyography, the EMG, which focuses on muscle tension, thorough biofeedback, which focuses on skin temperature, and neurofeedback, or electroencephalography. That word, encephalography, or the EEG, which focuses on brain activity. A fourth form of biofeedback, the heart rate variability, is becoming increasingly popular and is growing in use. Biofeedback has been shown to be effective in the treatment of ADHD, pain, depression, and headaches, among other symptoms. It is reported that 0.2% of adults use biofeedback. My mom got an EEG for her knees, and she said it was an incredibly painful process. That is all. Or was that an EKG? I don't know. My mom got some kind of electrical thing studying something with her knees, and she said it was painful. I think it is the EEG, the neurofeedback. Or it could have been the EMG. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, the Association of Applied Psychophysiology and Biofeedback reports having more than 2,000 professional members, and the Biofeedback Certification International Alliance reports having approximately 1,600 certified members as of 2012. The 6 benefits of biofeedback therapy. Reduces chronic headaches. Because it can lower someone's stress response, clinical studies have shown that biofeedback is effective in reducing the frequency and severity of tension and migraine headaches. One study published by Harvard Medical School found that biofeedback training allowed many patients to decrease their dependence on pain medications and to experience less pain overall. Although researchers also found similar benefits from teaching patients general relaxation techniques alone without additional use of biofeedback. Patients in the Harvard study also learned pain theories regarding relaxation techniques. A portion also went through additional education about biofeedback training. All patients showed statistically significant decrease in frequency and severity of the headaches in the first 12 months. Benefit continued for 36 months. Both groups also reported lower medication use and less medical care costs. 2. Helps regulate digestion. Biofeedback therapy is considered a well-established treatment modality for patients with several forms of chronic constipation, including dysenergetic defecation and fecal incontinence. Randomized controlled trials have found that 70 to 80% of all patients undergoing specialized biofeedback training in treatment centers experience improvements in symptoms. Therapists now use biofeedback to help teach patients suffering from reoccurring constipation to better sense and control muscles in their digestive system that are related to bowel movements. For example, impaired rectal sensation and a poor ability to squeeze muscles in the abdomen are both corrected using biofeedback maneuvers. Although barriers to biofeedback still exist within the general population, including lack of insurance coverage, distance to local treatment facilities, and acute medical issues, researchers continue to work on improving ways to offer this therapy in an affordable manner to those with serious digestive complaints. Another study found that home-based and office-based biofeedback therapy were effective for the number of complete spontaneous bowel movements per week, as well as patient satisfaction with bowel function. Research such as this shows the potential to broaden the availability of biofeedback through home sessions without disrupting efficiency or efficacy. 3. It reduces anxiety. Biofeedback helps to make patients more aware of how their thoughts, feelings, behaviors all interact. That is why it's frequently used in conjunction with other therapies such as cognitive behavioral therapy or mindfulness meditation training to reduce someone's stress response. As opposed to some of the treatments such as medication, biofeedback therapy is a process of training. Trained therapists teach patients to pay more attention to the way stress impacts their body. For example, anxiety causes someone's heart rate to speed up, muscles to tense, and the mind to worry. This, in turn, makes sleep and relaxation difficult. Through purposefully tracking symptoms and learning over and over again to reduce them, using feedback as a guide, relaxation becomes better enforced. It helps reduce pain without pills. Finding non-pharmacological techniques for controlling both short-term acute pain and chronic pain is now becoming more important than ever, given how much attention has been given to the potential for addiction of pain-killing drugs. One type of biofeedback, which is the neurofeedback, also known as the EEG, is being used in many treatment settings as an alternative method for pain reduction. It's being used for things like management of strokes, post-traumatic events, headaches, injuries, chronic muscle tension, diabetic neuropathic pain, and cancer recovery. Some evidence shows that it takes between 40 to 60 training sessions to achieve most benefits. Some studies show that this amount can result in up to 50% less pain depending on the condition. Thankfully, studies suggest it's useful in both children and adults. 5, it improves heart health. Studies suggest that biofeedback therapy helps improve control over heart rate variability and arousal of the sympathetic nervous system. This neurocardio combo is responsible for many of the physical effects of someone's stress response. Biofeedback training is also important in the treatment of cardiovascular diseases, complications including anxiety, trouble sleeping, and depression. One form of biofeedback, known as biofeedback assisted stress management, or the BFSM, not to be confused with BDSM, that's completely different, is especially geared towards managing cardiovascular diseases. It aims to lower activation of the automatic nervous system. Overactivation can negatively affect the heart. This therapy model could reduce psychological stress, improve quality of life, and improve clinical status in people with heart disease. A 2011 study published in the Cleveland Clinic Journal of Medicine suggests the use of BFSM by heart failure patients may actually cause cellular and molecular remodeling of the failing heart, change abnormal heart rate variability, and have a positive impact on side effects due to suffering from a serious chronic disease. And 6, reduces hyperarousal and trouble sleeping. The electroencephalography, the EEG feedback, is now commonly used to control symptoms of hyperarousal, including insomnia and ADHD symptoms. Hyperarousal is a class of symptoms that often impact people living with PTSD. Research conducted in 2011 by the Department of Psychophysiology of HealthGot Research Institute in Oregon found that 2 forms of neurofeedback treatments, the sensory motor protocol and the sequential quantitative EEG model, successfully demonstrated usefulness for treating insomnia symptoms. After undergoing 20 15-minute sessions, not 2015, it's 20 15-minute sessions, both groups experienced significant decreases in dysfunctional symptoms like daytime sleepiness and hyperarousal during the night. The study participants also reported significant improvements in scores on several insomnia measurement scales. Biofeedback is an area of CAM that can be integrated into ongoing treatment with relative ease by appropriately trained psychologists using biofeedback equipment. While formal certification is not required, it can be obtained through biofeedback certification through the Biofeedback Certification International Alliance. So, next up is hypnosis. The Society of Psychological Hypnosis defines hypnosis as a process by which one person, the subject, is guided by another, the hypnotist, to respond to suggestions for changes in subjective experience, alterations in perception, sensation, emotion, thought, or behavior. Only 0.2% of people use hypnosis. In fact, when many people hear the term hypnosis, they think entertainment, not healthcare. As a result, psychologists will want to educate clients about the utility of hypnosis, which is commonly used to treat pain and fatigue, as well as nausea and vomiting that occurs as a side effect of cancer treatments. So when to consider hypnosis? A number of hypnotic techniques exist, combining relaxation with imagery. People who undergo hypnosis may achieve a trance-like state similar to what happens when they daydream or meditate. But hypnosis is actually just a heightened state of concentration. The aim is to focus the mind, to eliminate distractions, and make someone more open to suggestions, such as those that promote the aims of treatment. The AMA, the American Medical Association, approved hypnosis as a therapy in 1958, and the APA followed in 1961. Since then, reviews have provided evidence about when this therapy is effective. So, pain relief. A meta-analysis published in 2000 concluded that hypnosis offered moderate to major relief for many types of pain. And a 2003 analysis found that hypnosis was at times more effective than other pain relief methods. Hypnosis may be used as an adjunct to various types of sedation during surgery. A 1999 review concluded that hypnosis combined with conscious sedation might also reduce the length of stay in a hospital by speeding up the recovery. 2007 study found that women who were hypnotized before undergoing a breast biopsy or lumpectomy required less sedation during the procedure and experienced less pain, nausea, and emotional distress afterwards. Studies also report that hypnosis can be effective for alleviating pain caused by chronic tension headaches and migraine headaches. That's actually something remember studying. Somebody underwent surgery, invasive surgery, with no drugs in their system and only with a hypnotist guiding them through it. That's it. Like, there was a doctor operating on them and all. No drugs and nothing. It's amazing that it could even do that. Anxiety. Hypnosis also helps to alleviate anxiety and has been studied as a treatment for anxiety related to surgery. Many studies have reported that hypnosis reduced anxiety levels and lowered blood pressure in patients before surgery and enhanced recovery afterwards by shortening hospital stays and reducing complications like nausea and vomiting. In a 2006 study, for example, patients who underwent hypnosis received suggestions of well-being before surgery. Upon entering the operating room, they reported anxiety levels 56% lower than anxiety levels before hypnosis, and patients in a comparison group who received the normal pre-surgical standard of care reported a 47% increase in anxiety. For other conditions, the evidence about the effectiveness is mixed or insufficient. Depression. One study involving 84 people with depression who were randomly assigned to 16 weeks of treatment with either hypnosis or cognitive behavioral therapy found that both groups improved with treatment. The hypnosis group made greater improvements than the CBT group when the symptoms were rated on scales such as the Beck Depression Inventory and the Beck Anxiety Inventory, but the gains were small. Eating disorder, an analysis that found that many studies provided so few specifics that hypnotic intervention could not be replicated nor evaluated. Further research is needed. Schizophrenia. Some researchers question whether people with this disease are capable of being hypnotized, while others worry that hypnosis might trigger a psychotic episode. Although case reports suggested that hypnosis may help some patients improve concentration, attention, and cognitive function, a comprehensive review concluded that the available studies were too small, poorly designed, and outdated. Smoking cessation. Some studies suggested that hypnosis might help people stop smoking by reducing the cravings, bolstering the willpower, or increasing focus on healthier choices. But a comprehensive review found that most evidence to date consisted of case reports or poorly designed studies, and it concluded that hypnosis is no better than other interventions or no treatment at all on 6-month quit rates. So, hypnosis can be integrated into ongoing practice, and one may obtain certification, although this is not standardized. So, moving on to the last two, music therapy. In 1991, Bruce Shea defined music therapy as an interpersonal process in which the therapist uses music in all of its facets to help patients to improve, restore, or maintain health. The American Music Therapy Association defines music therapy as an established health profession in which music is used within a therapeutic relationship to address physical, emotional, cognitive, and social needs of individuals. Music therapy involves singing, writing music, making music, listening to music, and lyric analysis, among other techniques. Yes, nothing like sitting down and analyzing the lyrics of Genie in a Bottle to really help you understand yourself. Sorry, making a joke. Anyway, music is not what affects the therapeutic process. Rather, the focus is on helping clients to explore their thoughts and feelings through the use of music intervention. Music therapy is a multi-dimensional approach that focuses on the variety of facets: physical, emotional, mental, social, and aesthetic, and spiritual, as a means to improve health. Oh, I know. People love analyzing songs. It's just I'm not as well versed in music therapy to understand how lyrical analysis will help, but I'm not saying it doesn't, obviously. So, how does music therapy work? Well, it is claimed that 5 factors contribute to effects of music therapy. The modulation of attention. The first aspect is the modulation of attention. Music grabs our attention and distracts us from stimuli that may lead to negative experiences, such as worry, pain, anxiety, and so on. This may also explain the anxiety and pain-reducing effects of listening to music during medical procedures. The modulation of emotion. The second way music therapy works is through modulation of emotion. Studies have shown that music can regulate the activity of brain regions that are involved in the initiation, generation, maintenance, termination, and modulation of emotions. Modulation of cognition. Music also modulates cognition. Music is related to memory processes, including the encoding, storage, and decoding of musical information and events related to musical experiences. It is also involved in the analysis of musical syntax and musical meaning. There's the modulation of behavior. Music therapy also works through modulating behavior. Music evokes and conditions behavior, such as movement patterns involved in walking, speaking, and grasping. Modulation of communication. Music also affects communication. In fact, music is a means of communication. Therefore, music can play a significant role in relationships, as alluded to in the definition of music therapy. Music interaction in music therapy, especially musical improvisation, such as nonverbal and pre-verbal language. It allows people who are verbal to gain access to pre-verbal experiences. It also gives nonverbal people the chance to communicate with others without words, and it allows all people to interact on a more emotional, relationship-oriented way than may be possible relying on verbal language. Interaction also takes place with listening to music by a process that generally includes choosing music that has a meaning for the person, such as music reflecting an issue that the person is currently occupied with. Wherever possible, individuals are encouraged to reflect on personal issues that relate to the music or associations that the music brings up. For individuals who have verbal abilities, another important part of music therapy is to reflect verbally on the musical process. What does a music therapist do? This information about what music therapists do is found on the Your Free Career Test website. Music therapists work in a variety of settings, including schools, hospitals, mental health service locations, and nursing homes. This may help a variety of different patients and clients. Music therapist evaluates each client's unique needs. They ascertain a client's musical preferences and devises a treatment plan that is customized for the individual. Music therapists are part of a multidisciplinary team working with other professionals to ensure treatment also works for the client to achieve their goals. For example, if a person is working on strengthening and movement in order to address physical limitation, a music therapist could introduce dance into their treatment plan. Some evidence supports music therapy's use in reducing anxiety, depression, and pain, although the literature is limited. Music therapy may be ethically and appropriately integrated into ongoing psychological treatment by appropriately trained psychologists. Certification is required and can be obtained. And finally, art therapy. We do not have time to go into light therapy, but look up light therapy on your own. But art therapy involves the use of creative techniques such as drawing, painting, collage, coloring, or sculpting to help people express themselves artistically and examine the psychological and emotional undertones in their art. With the guidance of a credentialed art therapist, clients can decode the nonverbal messages, symbols, and metaphors often found in these art forms, which should lead to a better understanding of their feelings and behaviors so that they can move on to resolve deeper issues. So what to expect? As with any form of therapy, your first session will consist of your talking to the therapist about why you want to find help and learning what the therapist has to offer. Together, you'll come up with a treatment plan that involves creating some form of artwork. Once you begin creating, the therapist may, at times, simply observe your process as you work without interference or judgment. When you have finished a piece of artwork, and sometimes while you're still working on it, the therapist will ask you questions along the lines of how you feel about the artistic process, what was easy or difficult about creating your artwork, and what thoughts or memories you may have had while you were working. Generally, the therapist will ask about your experience and feelings before providing any observations. So how does it work? Art therapy is founded on the belief that self-expression through artistic creation has therapeutic value for those who are healing or seeking deeper understanding of themselves and their personalities. According to the American Art Therapy Association, art therapists are trained to understand the roles that color, texture, and various art media can play in the therapeutic process, and how these tools can help reveal one's thoughts, feelings, and psychological disposition. Art therapy integrates psychotherapy and some form of visual arts as a specific, standalone form of therapy, but it is also used in combination with other types of therapy. So, there you all are. I just dumped a ton of information on all of you. Y'all got the all these forms of, complementary or alternative forms. And it's just something that, I thought would be nice for people to learn about. You know, because you never know what will help you, what will not help. And it's always nice to know what is out there and available. So, yeah, I think we're going to leave it off right here with that, though. This was a good, long session. Just talking, providing you guys information that I know or learned. And I hope you all learned something today. So, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And until the next time, everybody, stay funky people.